I've lived in the South Bay for 10 years, and this is what it's like to live here. So I've had people mention on this channel that I did not grow up in the South Bay, and that's true. I grew up in Northern California, and so people have said, you didn't grow up here, how you don't really know what it's like here in the South Bay. But actually, I think people moving here, I can relate with because of that reason. I moved down from Northern California to Southern California, and I didn't really know what to expect when I first moved down here 10 years ago. And so I have that same kind of experience that you have when moving here is, what's it really like? Where should I live? What city should I live? South Bay, you've got a variety of different cities within the South Bay with Redondo Beach, Torrance, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Lawndale, Palos Verdes. And so with all of these different, cities to live in, how do you choose which is the right one for you? And so today I thought we'd just go over what it's really like living in the South Bay. Are you thinking of moving to the South Bay? Then you're gonna want our relocation guide. So click the link in the description to download that for free, and you'll have everything you need to know before moving here. All right, so what makes the South Bay unique? One of the things that I think makes the South Bay unique to not only Southern California, but California, and that's the unique option of being at the beach and kind of tucked away, but also within a community. So you have all these different cities here that are either a walk to the beach, a bike ride to the beach, or a very short drive to the beach. And so you can kind of choose within the South Bay whether you want to be right up against the water and really have that small beach town experience, like maybe in Hermosa Beach, or if you want to be more into a bigger town and city like Torrance, where you can just ride your bike or run to the beach any day you want, but you still have that kind of tucked away community within the different streets. So you have a lot of different options of styles of living, but I think the beach life in the South Bay is what draws a lot of people to living in the South Bay. So I think the biggest thing that you should know or expect when moving to Southern California in general, but especially the South Bay, is the cost of living versus what you get. And I think that is the biggest adjustment for people, is maybe they're coming from a home that's 3,000 square feet, and maybe it's half the price, or it's a newer, remodeled, updated home, and now they're getting a smaller, older home. So it is something to consider that for the price, it may be a smaller home, it may be an older home, but you're really paying to be closer to the beach and the lifestyle of living out in that area. Hey guys, so as much as I love making these videos, what I really like even more is helping families move here. So if you are thinking of moving to the area, I would love to help you get started in your search, and my contact info is on the screen or down in the description down below. Feel free to reach out anytime, call, text, or email. Remember, it's never too early to get started in your home search. All right, so it is more expensive to live in the South Bay, and the reason that you might want to come here with a home being, maybe it's an older home or maybe it's a smaller home, so why would you want to pay more for something that you can get in another community? And I think the reason that people are drawn to the South Bay is the lifestyle. So as I mentioned, you're close to the beach, you've got, you can go for a bike ride, you can run along the Strand, you can spend the day on the beach. You also have all of the trails, horse trails in Palos Verdes nearby, that you can go and check out, all the trails and go walking and running along there. So it's just a very outdoorsy lifestyle, playing volleyball on the beach or just, riding the bike along through the day. And then there's a lot of shops and restaurants and different varieties of food. So I think what really draws people to the South Bay is the lifestyle. And so if you are not somebody that needs to be close to the beach, does not want to be outdoors and going to trails, does not care if there's a lot of different restaurants and shops to check out, then you can probably afford something, newer and bigger in another community. So that is something to think about when looking at the South Bay, is being outdoors and getting, a lifestyle on the beach something that's important to you, or could you be further away and pay a little less just because of the proximity of being further from the beach? So that is what it's like living in the South Bay. And every little city in the South Bay has a different feel for it. So depending on what you're looking for, there could be something there. Different styles of homes. Each city has a different style of home to it. Could be smaller or bigger. So South Bay has lots of options, and depending on what you need, if you want to be close to the beach and you want an outdoor lifestyle, the South Bay could be the right spot for you. So feel free to reach out, call, text, or email me. It's never too early to get started in your home search.